So first of all, it's never one thing. You need like a lot. It's never ever
Hmm.
one thing. I think it'll be a lot of things. The narratives that are going to drag us out of this winter. I think the rise of agentic finance is actually a narrative that will drag us out of the winter. I think the rise of institutional DeFi. You're seeing Apollo building on Morpho. You're seeing BlackRock building on Uniswap. You're seeing Aave hit $1 trillion in lending. I think the growth of institutional DeFi will drag us out of this winter. I think the 4-year cycle will contribute to dragging us out of the winter, right? We're in the down year now. Next year is a good year. 4-year cycle seems intact. That will be helpful. I think Kevin Warsh, the new incoming Fed chair, is much more dovish than people think. I think he believes in the AI deflationary story. He's going to cut rates more than people think. I think that will be positive for us. Um, I think we're going to make enough progress on quantum that the quantum risk will be diminished in people's minds. When you add agentic finance and slashed rates and quantum risk going down, um, and stablecoin growth and tokenization growth and the Clarity Act being passed, it starts to be just too much news. It's too much good news. And so I think that those are the narratives on which we're going to exit this market.
If we talk about agentic finance, then it's kind of hitting the fact that a lot of money is going into AI companies rather than tokens. Why should it be having an impact on tokens then?
Oh, if you look at so Stripe, like arguably the world's best payment company, just wrote their annual letter. If you read the letter, what they say is agentic finance will be the majority of all internet-based transactions, and it will all take place on blockchains and stablecoins. The core idea is that agentic AI agents aren't going to walk down to JP Morgan and open a bank account. They're going to get a stablecoin wallet and be transacting in stables and Bitcoin. And if you think they're going to represent the majority of economic activity eventually, I think that just like DeFi summer was one of the narratives that got us out of the 2018 funk. It took a while, right? Um, I think AI fi or whatever agentic finance is going to be one of those narratives because the largest payment firms in the world are telling you this is the direction that the market is going to go.
I think that's also why I like. Well, it's hard to really like a certain protocol, but for instance, Near is building some really great tech within the ecosystem that is basically touching upon your thesis as well.
Absolutely. And talk about a pedigree, right? The founder of
Hmm.
Near was co-author on the Transformers paper, which created the AI boom, like the original
Yeah,
paper that birthed LLMs. I think they're a direct play in this space. So among the alt L1s and among the sort of more interesting projects, I think they have a really differentiated narrative that I suspect will do well in this coming boom.
that's true. But when we talk about like narratives and things that are really taking off, we discussed stablecoins. But is the market not extremely undervaluing Ethereum at this point?
I think there's a strong case to be made for the market undervaluing both ETH and Solana at this point, which are the
Fair
dominant
enough.
players in those two markets. I think the market is asking questions about L1 valuations
Yeah.
and how they derive valuations. It will want answers to that, but I'm very bullish. Particularly, Ethereum sort of has Vitalik coming back into the community and becoming a major force there. I think that is a very positive narrative. It has a better technical roadmap that's shipping faster than it was in the past. I think that's a very positive negative narrative. And then it's the leading play on stablecoins and tokenization right now, and it's winning the majority of institutional mandates. I think that's a pretty great combination. I think Solana benefits from being a challenger in that same market, and I suspect people are going to buy a lot of both, is my guess.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, probably Bitcoin needs to move first and then the money will trickle down again, just like the old fashioned way.
Yeah, I think it might be. I think Bitcoin will recover, but it will be interesting to see whether, because the stablecoin and tokenization narrative is so strong and so positive, and there's so much positive news flow, that
Hmm.
may be the catalyst that sort of drags us out of the market. Look, I think Bitcoin will bottom and ultimately be part of what moves us up. But I think there's space for some pretty strong moves on assets related to stablecoins and tokenization. So it'll be interesting to see.
How is this when it comes to having conversations with other family offices or institutions? Is there some sort of blink of interest into Ethereum, which all of a sudden popped up during the last summer, or is it just solely focused on Bitcoin at this point?
No, I think it's the like triumvirate. It's Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana. There's interest in both. So it used to be that the majority of our conversations were focused on Bitcoin. Now it's 50-50. It's like Bitcoin and stablecoins and tokenization. And when you say stablecoins and tokenization, there are lots of ways to invest, but the easiest ways are Ethereum and Solana. So I do think you'll see a lot of institutional exposure to that. Maybe it's 50-50, maybe it's 70 Bitcoin, 30% these other assets, but they're going to get more institutional bid than they did in previous cycles because people are just so excited about stablecoins and tokenization.